Hello everyone, welcome back to Remind, knowledge sharing channel self-development through good books. This week, I want to share with you an incredibly valuable book.
In the vast forest of world literature, there are countless classic works, but few books can truly impact the course of history in an era. Among them, the novel Uncle Tom's Cabin by the American writer Harriet Beecher Stowe stands as the masterpiece with the most profound influence in the 19th century. It became the best-selling book, translated into dozens of languages, and ignited a wave of abolitionism across America. The first time I read this book, I witnessed the stormy, tragic life of Uncle Tom. I felt deep sorrow for the trampled fates of people of color in the southern United States. I also clearly heard the voice exposing the darkness and crimes of the slavery system. But upon rereading it a second time, I uncovered another layer of meaning, a philosophy of life hidden beneath its political veneer in this novel. That's why in today's video, Battle Vision would like to share with you insights into that profound philosophy through the classic novel Uncle Tom's Cabin. I hope it leaves you with plenty of reflections and helps you draw lessons on the wisdom of survival in life, enabling you to live with true resilience and happiness in your optimal state. Now, please join me in exploring today's shared content. Part 1, superiority is like underwear. It cannot be flaunted outwardly. A truly strong person never puts on airs of being superior. A noble life doesn't need to be adorned with a sense of superiority. In life, some people inevitably rely on a feeling of superiority to construct an invisible hierarchy, believing that it makes them more refined, more capable, and positioned higher than others. Conversely, there are those who consistently earn genuine respect from everyone around them through humility and an equal mindset. Reading this novel, you'll realize that true superiority doesn't stem from appearance, knowledge, family background, wealth, status, achievements, or power. It arises solely from ignorance paired with a deficient heart. The story unfolds in the 19th century, before the American Civil War. The southern United States was primarily ruled by white people, while people of color became sources of cheap labor, mainly toiling on cotton plantations. The protagonist is Uncle Tom, a man of color forced to survive in that harsh and shadowy environment, enduring countless ups and downs. At a slave auction, Uncle Tom was sold to a plantation owner named Simon Legree, an utterly ruthless man. Like all owners of people of color, or those profiting from the slave trade, Simon viewed humans as nothing more than material objects, mere tools for generating profit. One day during the cotton harvest, to prevent the slaves of color from slacking off, Simon appointed Sambo and Quimbo, also two men of color, to supervise and manage the remaining slaves. One might assume that sharing the same skin color would foster understanding of each other's plight, but unexpectedly, Sambo and Quimbo, having gained a sliver of power, developed an intense sense of superiority. They exploited their privileges to ostentatiously display this feeling of being better by lashing out with whips at anyone who didn't pick enough cotton, immediately tormenting those who displeased them, and upon spotting a beautiful new woman of color, coercing her to become theirs, heedless of shattering her marital happiness and family. Sambo and Quimbo grew so haughty that they acted as if they were the true rulers of the plantation, relentlessly oppressing all the other people of color. A French writer, diplomat, and politician once said, "A person certainly cannot gaze upon others with eyes full of hatred and contempt while demonstrating their superiority." In essence, as psychologist Adler explored in the classic psychology book, What Life Should Mean to You, the sense of confidence and superiority profoundly affects a person's entire life happiness. The book points out that superiority is the yearning for an ideal self, the emotional experience gained after achieving that ideal. Moreover, superiority only emerges after enduring inferiority, then exerting maximum effort to attain a feeling of being better than others. This process serves merely to affirm one's existence in the world. In other words, superiority originates from a deficient sense of inferiority, and everyone possesses it. Sambo and Quimbo, rising from slaves to supervisors, birthed this sense of superiority. The top two students in class will also cultivate a sense of excellence. Being ranked as the year's outstanding employee sparks a feeling of being superior. Having a beautiful partner fosters superiority too, or simply in everyday life, it's all too familiar. Urban dwellers often feel superior to those from rural provinces. Highly educated individuals feel superior to those with less schooling. High earners see themselves as more accomplished than low-income ones. And attractive people often feel superior to those with average looks. In truth, harboring superiority is understandable, given that humans are born into physical bodies within a materialistic society. But the concern lies in how many express their superiority by desperately proving it for all to see at any cost. Only when observed by many does that person truly feel their own worth. In relationships, proving superiority might involve bragging or constantly comparing with surroundings, houses, cars, spouses, children's grades. In social interactions, it could mean looking down on others. At work, it manifests as veterans bullying newcomers, nitpicking, or lecturing. In schools, it's bullying, isolation, or cutthroat competition. Another way is invoking morality or friendship to demand entitlement. We've been friends for years, can't you help with just this? Or you're so rich, what's a little money to you? There are even those with innate overconfidence. Utterly ordinary, yet bizarrely assured, always peering down from on high with disdain. The reality is that superiority is like underwear. The more you expose it, the more it repels others. We must recognize that the less one has, the more they flaunt. The more deficient, the greater the need for validation. The more inferior, the stronger the urge to prove worth. In psychology, there's the Dunning-Kruger effect, an illusion of one's capabilities. People commonly harbor a cognitive bias, overestimating their abilities beyond reality. This holds for many, including characters like Sambo and Quimbo. To the plantation owner, they're mere pawns, tools to be exploited. Once a better supervisor option arises, they'd be discarded instantly. Ultimately, all superiority is a superficial mindset. Only those with vain, shallow inner worlds believe that extensive travels, fine dining, powerful connections, advanced degrees, or wealth elevate their status above others. A quote from Osho's work rings true. Arrogance is simply inferiority, trampling upon itself. Part 2. The more you seek to prove yourself, the narrower your life's path becomes. Uncle Tom's second owner was Augustine. Unlike most cruel plantation owners, Augustine did not discriminate against people of color. But his wife Mary was the complete opposite. Mary hailed from a wealthy family, enjoyed a happy marriage, and had servants at her beck and call. She should have been the most at ease in the manor, yet she constantly sighed and complained that no one around truly cared for her. All of this stemmed from her habit of prizing her own superiority, perpetually diminishing others to elevate herself. On one hand, she reveled in the luxuries afforded by the unjust slavery system. On the other, she proclaimed herself the savior of people of color, convinced that without her oversight, the slaves would perish. After marriage, to secure top-tier service, Mary employed every scheme to dismantle the family of her colored maid and compel her to follow. Mary's pastime was forcing servants to stay awake all night, then lamenting her headaches and demanding everyone's attention. One day, when a female servant dozed off and failed to notice Mary's headache, she erupted in fury, accusing the woman of selfishness and blaming her own leniency toward people of color. When Augustine urged his wife to empathize with the servant's position and cease family separations, she sneered contemptuously. A person of color couldn't possibly have emotions as rich as mine. Yet, in others' eyes, the truly selfish, callous, hypocritical one, incapable of caring for anyone but herself, was Mary. Over time, her husband saw through her facade and stopped earnestly heeding her grievances. The servants, accustomed to her absurd demands, began serving half-heartedly. Thus, Mary became ensnared in her inner superiority, gradually living as an isolated island amid reality. In our own lives, we encounter many like Mary. After a few years abroad, returnees often adopt affected accents, lacing Vietnamese sentences with English words. On social media, many succumb to virtual existences, eager to showcase every possession. You'll notice that dialogues with those harboring strong superiority complexes overflow with I and scant you, so they pivot conversations to themselves relentlessly. Such individuals exhibit clear patterns in social or intimate bonds, denying the other's qualities. fixating on flaws, frequently criticizing or humiliating, adept at seizing moments to flaunt strengths, and desperately concealing weaknesses. But by ignoring or feigning ignorance of their own shortcomings, they forfeit genuine progress. Those with intense superiority often lack empathy, unable to step into others' shoes. In truth, superiority never satisfies them, as they chase not true excellence, but mere proof of outshining the others. Their instinct, self-praise in deeming others inferior, breeding habitual complacency and arrogance. Yet they fail to see that gilding themselves only dazzles others blindly, offering no warmth. Only by reigning in superior attitudes and viewing people and life through equality can you earn respect and sincere interactions from those around you. And then your life's road truly widens. Your existence becomes authentic. Part 3, the highest form of resilience in a person is to look down without arrogance and look up without shame. According to Mary's perspective, only force could tame all people of color on the plantation. Augustine visited his brother's estate and witnessed him pursuing a runaway man of color. This slave, burning with a fierce desire for freedom, was named Scipio, tall and immensely strong. Alone, he overpowered supervisors wielding force against him before fleeing. Augustine's brother, enraged, dispatched men and hounds to confront Scipio, but he resisted fiercely, unapproachable until shot and wounded. To halt the mob from slaying the innocent Scipio, Augustine intervened, claiming him as his slave. Augustine purchased Scipio from his brother, brought him to a room, prepared a comfortable bed, bandaged his injuries, and cared for him personally. Once Scipio fully recovered, Augustine issued a freedom certificate, permitting him to go anywhere. Astonishingly, Scipio, who had repeatedly sought escape, tore the document in two, declaring he wished not to leave Augustine. Even when his master later contracted a grave infectious illness, Scipio, undaunted, insisted on remaining to tend him until his final breath. In reality, Augustine held no greater power, status, or wealth than his brother, yet he inspired such profound loyalty in Scipio. This stemmed from Augustine forsaking superiority and treating those beneath him with equality. In any relationship, if you ponder whether to deepen ties with someone, observe how they treat those less fortunate. Worshipping the strong is human nature, but equitably caring for the weak is rare. When one traverses thousands of miles or devours thousands of books, attaining an equal, unified view of the world, they recognize their own insignificance and see that all accomplishments and glories are fleeting. Only by diminishing the urge to prove oneself can true strength accumulate. As Anang stated, despising someone draws you near failure. Respecting them places success within reach. A person's pinnacle achievement and greatest resilience arrive when, despite a higher station, they maintain humility and control inner superiority. The work Uncle Tom's Cabin is not merely a novel opposing slavery, but a survival philosophy unmasking human nature. In the book, confronting his wife's servant critiques, Augustine remarked, "If in their place, we might not fare as well." Indeed, you may discover that unconsciously displaying superiority often arises from lacking confidence, a bid for self-protection. Thus, each appearance demands armor, degrees, titles, lineage, wealth, and so on. Superiority becomes your invisible shield. Alternatively, such displays might stem from craving recognition, admiration, or praise, prompting you to layer on jewels of material goods, fame, achievements, or privileges. But excessive glitter blinds, obscuring self-view. Over time, even you lose sight of your true essence. One insincere with themselves cannot demand sincerity from others. So when superiority surges, self-inquire. What ignites this feeling in me? Do I seek praise and validation? Do I habitually criticize, disdain, spotting only others' faults? Do I demand absolute obedience? And don't dismiss this book's condemnation of societal injustice toward people of color as grand and irrelevant. From Uncle Tom's Cabin to Kill a Mockingbird, such inequities trace to white superiority. And even today, discriminations of skin, ethnicity, wealth, beauty, body type, or ability persist. This endures because we all chase or harbor some superiority. Once you engage the world with equality, looking down sans arrogance, up, sans, shame, san, boasting. You'll see all as akin, everything unified with yourself. Superiority vanishes. You'll neither crave summits nor scorn bases. In any circumstance, you'll evade instability, drifting between inferiority and superiority complexes. This is the ideal state for true excellence and resilience. Moreover, know that balance in you fosters world fairness. As American psychologist Daniel Goleman wrote in Emotional Intelligence, the comfort you instill in others determines your attainable heights. Finally, my message today. May we all release superiority, shed its invisible cloaks and superficial ornaments, maintain equality, and treat others with the sincerity we afford ourselves. Thank you for listening. If this video resonates, share it with those who need it, give it a like, subscribe, and enable notifications for weekly updates. Once more, thank you, and see you in the next videos.